In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the core editing tools that will allow you to manipulate the geometry of your models. To access edit mode, just press the Tab key on your keyboard. You can press the same key to go back to object mode. Alternatively, you can left click where it says object mode and choose edit mode from the menu. Directly next to it, you have three options for the type of geometry that you want to be able to manipulate. By default, it is set to vertex selection. The next option allows you to select edges on your geometry. The third option allows you to select faces. You can press 1, 2, or 3 on your keyboard to alternate between these modes. You can also hold down the Shift key to increase the number of modes you have active at any one time, allowing you to select different types of geometry at the same time. Editing tools can be found in different places in the viewport. For example, many of the core tools that you'll be using can be located here in the tool shelf. If you can't see the tool shelf, just press the T key on your keyboard to bring it into view. Alternatively, we have options for the mesh as a whole and different types of geometry. The mesh menu allows us to manipulate the mesh as a whole while in edit mode. For example, we can use the extrude tool, which can be used with vertices, edges, and faces. Vertex menu allows us to manipulate only the vertices of our model. For example, we can rip vertices apart to create new geometry. The edge menu allows us to focus on manipulating the geometry using the edges. And the face menu allows us to manipulate the faces for our geometry. The extrude tool allows us to, first of all, select a face, for example, and then click and drag to create new geometry by extruding out the existing face. We can change our selection at any point, and we can create complex models very quickly. The Inset Faces option allows us to both create new geometry but also scale it in at the current location. So here I can select this face, click and drag, and it's going to create new geometry and scale it in without changing the actual shape of the model. The Bevel tool is next. The Bevel tool is primarily used with edges, whereas the previous two tools are primarily used with faces. Using the Bevel tool, we can select an edge, click and drag, and it will segment that edge into more edges to create greater curvature. We can scroll up on the scroll wheel to curve out that edge or that bevel. The Loop Cut tool allows us to create geometry wherever a loop is available. We can access it here, and we can see in yellow any new loops that we can create. For example, I can left click and it will add an entire loop around the geometry. I can create as many of these as I want, so long that the yellow marker becomes visible. Alternatively, I can hold down Ctrl and press R. This allows me to activate the Loop Cut tool, but now if I left click, I can then reposition and left click to confirm the new position of that geometry. If you want to delete your geometry, just select that geometry. For example, I'm going to select the top 4 faces and then press the X key. You can choose to delete the geometry outright, or you can dissolve it. For example, if I dissolve the faces, then my selection just becomes a single face. Alternatively, if I choose to delete the faces, I remove the face entirely. Lastly, we can subdivide our geometry. In this example, I'm going to select the entire model with the A key. Then I'm going to come to the Edge menu, where we're going to locate the Subdivide functionality. Left click, and it's going to divide up each face into smaller faces. We can open up the operator panel, which is in fact visible for any tool that we use, and manipulate the parameters. For example, I can manipulate the total number of cuts, the smoothness, the fractal effect, etc. with the Subdivide tool. So that is basically the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the ability of editing objects in Blender's 3D viewport. There are many other tools to learn, but the ones covered in this video are probably the core ones that we recommend you learn first. That's it from me. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notifications bell icon for updates and future Blender tutorials.